Hello friends, students. In previous lectures we have studied about rotational motion when axis was fixed. Now we are going to study part of rotational dynamics in which translation cum rotational motion will occur. Both types of motion will occur, translational and rotational. Axis would not be fixed now, it would be translating and entire body will be rotating about given axis. Means both type of motion, translational and rotational will occur. In this one we have to discuss. Okay, we are good. We are taking any type of body, rigid body, that's rigid body. This body has center of mass, this one, that is C. C is center of mass. And suppose this body is rotating in this way with angular velocity omega. This angular velocity is clockwise. Okay. For this one, if you want to find out linear velocity of any point on this rigid body, we can find. Know one thing. For given axis, whatever is axis, for given axis, angular velocity of every particle on this body remains same. Angular velocity in the case of rigid body does not vary point to point for given axis. If axis is changed, certainly that will be changed, angular velocity will be changed. But for given axis, it is constant for every particle on this rigid body. But linear velocity may be different. It may vary particle to particle. Now in this one, there is axis at center of mass, and the axis passing through the center of mass. This entire body is rotating with angular velocity omega in, suppose, clockwise direction. And the center of mass has also velocity Vc. Vc is linear velocity of center of mass. Linear matlab translational velocity of center of mass. Translational velocity of center of mass. Of center of mass. Okay. So at any point P on this rigid body, this is our concern point, we want to find out net velocity at this one. Velocity of point P will be given as, in vector form, Vp equals to Vc. What's Vc? Velocity of center of mass with respect to ground plus velocity of point P with respect to C. With respect to C. That's all. You know, Vc is whatever given Vc, but this velocity of point P with respect to C, every point with respect to center of mass is rotating. Different points are rotating at different radial value. Means if distance between, radial distance between C and P is r, small r, we will have here Vpc as omega cross r. Sure, r for different particle will be different. That's why omega cross r will be different for different particle. Vector sum of these two velocity will be velocity of a particular point P. May we find out direction of omega cross r? Omega for clockwise rotation is inside. Actual direction of omega is inside for clockwise in this case. And r is in this direction. That is, if you take right hand fingers inside to point P, omega cross r, this will be in this direction. That is the direction of omega cross r. Right? Omega is inside, r is in this direction, omega cross r will be in this direction. That is parallel to VC here, but towards right. VC is also towards right. Always magnitude of this VPC means omega cross r will be omega r, because omega is perpendicular to this r in this case. So that is Vp equals to Vc plus omega cross r. We can have magnitude wise Vp as Vc plus omega r. Why omega? That is magnitude of Vp. I am not giving vector sign. That is magnitude of C, this one. Because both are in same direction, that's why we can add them up. If they are not in the same direction, we have to take vector addition. Okay, na? So for any point, if theta is angle between vector VPC and VC, we can write down magnitude of velocity of point P as Vc squared plus VPC squared according to law of parallelogram plus 2VC VPC magnitude by cos theta square root. This one will give you velocity of any point P. If they are not parallel, we have to use this one. Okay. In the same way, we can find out acceleration when translational cum rotational motion occurs. How? I am taking another body of any shape. Its center of mass is C and it has linear acceleration AC. AC is acceleration of center of mass in given direction, whatever is direction that is. Then acceleration of any point P at a radial distance r, we have to find out net acceleration of P. Suppose angular acceleration is alpha, that's given to you. Angular acceleration is alpha. We can have again the acceleration of point P with respect to ground will be AC plus alpha cross r. Means AC is acceleration of center of mass. Acceleration of point P with respect to C is alpha cross r. Point P with respect to C. Again, for this rigid body, point P is rotating about given axis passing through C. So this alpha cross r is acceleration, translational acceleration due to rotation about center of mass. We can write this one as AP equals to AC plus velocity acceleration of point P with respect to C. That is alpha cross r. Once again, for magnitude of AP, we can have AC squared plus APC means alpha cross r squared plus 2 AC APC cos theta, where theta is angle between AC and APC. In this question, what's the direction of APC? Alpha is in this way. In this way means ki that is inside. If it is this angular quantity is axial quantity is inside, for clockwise omega alpha cross r will be in this direction. So we will firstly find out direction of P with respect to C. Acceleration of A to C will be given to, and we have to take vector sum of these two by any formula for vector quantity, like law of parallelogram, triangles law, whatever is needed. In the same way, we can find out kinetic energy when body is translating and rotating both. Kinetic energy, net kinetic energy of the body equals to kinetic energy of center of mass plus net, this is translational kinetic energy. I'm writing translational kinetic energy of Cm plus rotational kinetic energy of body with respect to Cm. Cm means center of mass. This total kinetic energy will be half m v c squared. C is velocity of center of mass. That is translational kinetic energy of center of mass. M is total mass of the body plus half ICM means moment of inertia of the body about x is passing through center of mass, that is the axis of rotation is at the center of mass, omega squared. Omega is given angular velocity about required axis passing through center of mass. So this sum of two kinetic energy will give you net kinetic energy of the body. Here we need not any vector algebra because these energies are scalar and we have to just add them up according to their algebraic relations. Okay. We are taking one of the example of this translational computational motion. Suppose here this is any disk of mass m and radius r and radius r, that's mass m and radius r, that is center of mass. It is rotating with angular velocity omega. About x is passing through center of mass. This is also translating with velocity vc, v naught. V naught is velocity of center of mass. Omega is angular velocity of center of mass, or angular velocity of the body passing through center of mass. Suppose that is point A at making 90-degree angle, that is the bottommost point. That is point B, that is point C, not C but I am taking X at any angle theta equals to 30-degree with horizontal. We have to find out velocity of A, X and B. Velocity of center of mass is V naught. Angular velocity is omega. You know, this is not, I'm not here describing pure Rolling. That's not exactly circular also. So you will not use V equals to R omega, capital R omega. Any velocity of center of mass would not be always R omega. That would not be. What if V naught may be any, R omega may be having any value. That's why V naught equals to R omega, velocity of center of mass equals to R omega should not be necessarily used here without giving condition. So if you want to find out velocity of A, if velocity of center of mass is V naught, every point on this rigid body will have V naught velocity along the direction of V naught. But with this V naught, these points will also have translational velocity due to rotational motion, due to rotation of this body about this one. So for VA, we can have V naught plus linear velocity due to rotation. And what's that one? That is radius r. So that's equals to r omega. R omega. Okay? I will write down in this way, omega cross r. What's the direction of omega cross r? Omega for clockwise is inside, r is in this one. So omega cross r will be in this direction. That is V of this point A with respect to center of mass, that is omega cross r in this direction. V naught is in this direction. That's exactly opposite to this omega cross r. That's why magnitude wise we can have Vp as V naught minus r omega. Omega and r both are here for this given point. They are at 90-degree angle. That's why magnitude of omega cross r will be just omega r. So we can write in this way. In the same way, velocity of the P is here A. I'm sorry, A. Velocity of B, in the same fashion, we can write V naught plus r omega. V naught is towards right. Every point will have velocity due to center of mass towards right, and they will also have simultaneously velocity due to rotation. This one will be also for this one r in this in the same direction, omega r. Omega cross r will be omega r in this one. So velocity of B will be V naught plus r omega. So we can write in this way. Velocity of point x, that's equal to again V naught plus omega cross r. I'm writing here Vx is V naught square plus omega square r square. Omega cross r is here r omega, because omega angle between r and omega is 90 degree. So omega is plus 2 V naught omega r cos the angle omega cross r. What's that one? That is omega cross r is always tangential in this direction. In this direction. So what would be angle between V naught and omega cross r? What will be angle between them? That is 90 degree. If you extend this one, this is V naught. If this is 90, this is 30, this is 60, this will be 120. Right? This will be 60, this will be 120 degree. So 2 V naught omega r cos 120 degree. 90 plus 30 square root. This equals to V naught square plus omega square r square cos 120 minus half. These two will be cancelled and we will have minus of V naught minus of V naught omega. That is the velocity of x. So we can find out velocity of any point on this. We are taking another example of translational computational motion. Suppose this is disk of mass m and radius r. The velocity of bottommost point A is 2 meter per second in this direction, VA. That is A point. The diametrically opposite point at the top is B and its velocity is Vb equals to 6 meter per second towards left. Now we have to find out angular velocity about axis passing through center, and also velocity of center of mass Vc. These both should be found. Okay, we are doing. If angular velocity is omega, radius is given r, velocity of center of mass is Vc, we can decide here velocity of B is leftward 6 meter per second and this one 2 meter per second. So angular velocity will be anti-clockwise and center of mass will be moving towards left. Then you can say, how can we decide? Okay, you can take in opposite direction also. You can take omega also in opposite direction, like clockwise. So take in any direction. After having final answer, we can decide about this one. If final answer is negative, we can adjust the sign of this one and we can know the exact direction of angular velocity and Vc. So here we are taking Vc in this direction and omega in this direction. Okay. If this is, what about velocity of B? Velocity of B, magnitude of velocity of B. Velocity of B will be Vc plus r omega, and that's equals to 6 meter per second. That is our first equation. In the same way, for this one, Vc minus r omega will be in this direction, Vc is in this direction. So for Va, Vc minus r omega, these are two velocities opposite to each other. Why opposite? You know that Vc is in this direction, leftward, and for this omega, for anti-clockwise, we will have r cross omega. So Vc minus r omega is minus of 2. Why? Because this is towards right. We have taken left as positive, so right should be taken negative. Vc minus r omega is minus of 2. We can solve these two equations simultaneously and we can have Vc and r omega. What will be that one? By solving this one simultaneously, we can have, after adding the 2Vc is 4. If we are adding 6 plus minus 2, 4. What about Vc? 4 by 2, 2 meter per second. That is positive. Once again, if we are subtracting from this one to this one, we can have, or anyway we can solve, okay, r omega will be 4 meter per second. Both have positive value, that's why our taken direction is correct. Means you can take in opposite direction also without any criteria, and then correction, then this final answer will correct your direction. Okay, this is the. I'm taking one more question for acceleration. To make your concept clear, I'm taking. Suppose this is rigid ground, and this is rod. This is rod of length 6 meter. Its mass is 50 kg. This is uniform rod, and here coefficient of kinetic friction is 0.3. Coefficient of kinetic friction. This is center of mass at L by 2 distance, and here from bottom 2 meter there is point P where 500 Newton force is applied towards right. 500 Newton force towards right. Okay, na? Then what will be acceleration of top point A when this is vertical? Initially, this rod is vertical, and at t equals to 0, when this force is applied, we have to find out acceleration of this topmost point A. Okay, this is rigid body. Due to this force, and here friction will be in this direction, we will take here friction, kinetic friction in this direction. This will have linear motion, center of mass will have linear motion, and simultaneously these two forces will give torque and rotational motion will occur. Here axis is not fixed, so this motion is translational come rotational. We have to find out acceleration. Now you tell me acceleration of center of mass, ACM, total force 500 plus friction by mass M. You know, here normal reaction will be mg, opposite to mg. So normal reaction will be here 50 G, 500 Newton, and friction will be mu Kn. Mu K is 0.3, N is 500, and that's equals to how much? 150 Newton. Yeah? This is 150 Newton. So ACM 500 plus 150 upon total mass 50. Total mass 50. This is 650 upon 50. 13 meter per second square. 13 meter per second square. Oh, I'm sorry, very sorry. This is opposite direction, so I have to take this minus sign, this minus sign, and we will have here, sorry, 350 by 50, 7 meter per second square. That is ACM. Now we should find out alpha of this one, means find out torque. What about torque of this one? This torque will be due to 500 Newton force, anti-clockwise direction, or due to this friction, clockwise direction. So it is at 2 meter from this one. Center of mass is at 3 meter height, because total mass is 6 meter. So distance between center of mass and point P is 1 meter. That is vertical. So torque equals to, due to 500 Newton, 500 into 1. Anti-clockwise direction. Due to this friction, Fr minus of Fr is 150 Newton. 150 into 3. Why 3? Because friction is acting at the bottom, that is at 3 meter from the center of mass. We can have here 500 minus 450 and 50 Newton meter. 50 Newton meter. Torque is 50 Newton meter. I, moment of inertia about center of mass, 1 by 12. Mass is 50. L is 6. L square. 1 by 12 ml square. 6. This is 2. This is 3. That is again 150. Kg meter squared. Kg meter square I. So what about alpha? Alpha is torque upon I. I about center of mass. So 50 upon 150. Torque, that is 1 by 3 radian per second squared. I can delete this one. Now we want to find out acceleration of the stop point. Acceleration of point A will be, acceleration is towards right, and that is acceleration of center of mass is towards right, that is 7. So AC minus of this 6 meter, alpha into 3 meter. Alpha, R alpha is 3 meter. That is in this direction, because rotation will be in this direction. This one torque is greater, so rotation will be anti-clockwise. Minus AC is 7, alpha is 1 by 3, that is 3. This whole one is 6 meter per second square towards rightward. So in this way we can find out acceleration, velocity and kinetic energy also of bodies which are performing rotational and translational motion both. Okay, in further video lectures we will study about pure rolling and some very good questions regarding that one. Okay, thank you.